Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
turn this one. We're back, man.
All right.
BSideShow.net.
Yeah.
Having a couple little issues with it, but you know we're gonna get through it, man. It's a B-side show, man.
Yeah.
We'll freestyle and beatbox through it. Hey, real quick, man. let everybody. We're gonna have Hazerd be part of this forum right here too. But I wanted to run it down the line, introduce yourselves, and kind of let them know what you're working on right now too, man. Go ahead, Jose.
My name is Jose with Guerilla Union, project manager, VIP manager, vendor coordinator, tour manager for MERS, Road to Pay Dues tour. Staying busy, staying on the grind.
Yeah. I be Agallah, the Don Bishop, man. Artist, producer. You know what I mean? CEO of Propane Campaign. You know what I mean? That new movement. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is.
Hazard to the mic. I'm just hoping I can get both of these guys contacts after this.
That's right.
Oh, no doubt.
We all fam here, you know what I'm saying?
Keep it all the way live, man.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time, right?
Exactly.
No, that's what it is, and a lot of that time on the B side, there's been a lot of networking going on here behind the scenes
Right.
that people don't know about. People have collabed off this show, done shows together, man. So it's a good look, man. The platform for hip hop, and I want to thank you guys for coming through. First of all, man. Hey, let's get right into it, dog. I wanted to know, especially from your guys' perspective, doing shows and setting up a lot of the events, and Agallah also producing as well as being an artist. But what do you think is kind of missing? And I'm not saying everybody. I'm not gonna put everybody into a box, but kind of from the hip hop that's coming out right now. What do you think that is missing or lacking right now in hip hop right now, man?
Oh, well.
I know
I'll tell
Agallah
you
got
like
some.
this.
I know,
Me personally, what I feel right now, the game, what I think is lacking is the respect for some elders that did it. I think that's probably one thing. I think people think because you're a certain age you can't make good music anymore. I think there's a lot of, what I would say, part of me. I think there's a lot of, wolves in sheep's clothing. Rather, they'll pull your eyes, and industry technology. That's the problem. It's not enough knowledge to stop that. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? Because we got a lot of kids out there, the young cats. And I respect all a lot of the young cats. You know what I'm saying, coming up in the game. But I just feel that it's a lot of technology with what a lot of rappers be spitting. You know what I mean? And what they projecting out there. You feel me? And everything's like mollied out now. You know what I'm saying? All of this. You feel me? Like it's like drugs didn't make hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm talking about. That's the technology that needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it don't stop, it's only gonna get worse than it is now. You feel me? So that's what I feel, as a OG in the game, you feel me, and realizing for what it is, I just think the technology is got to stop, and we gotta infuse that more in the music. I mean, it's just people doing it, but as a whole, as a community, we gotta embrace the reality of what we're living in, you know what I mean, and what we're rapping about too. So I just feel that part needs to be, like rap back in the days, everything now has to have a Hollywood background. Right. Back in the days, you could just sit on your stoop with your man. Like, I was speaking with Smooth the Hustler this morning. And, he had a picture on Instagram of Broken Language, the classic. He's like, we ain't had no Hollywood sets. We just had raps, my dude. And we sat on the stoop and spit what we did, the jaw breaker, the roll breaker, whatever they was going at. You did me? You feel me? So that part, man, I just feel like it's lacking some authenticity, man. Feel me?
We can't be at Disneyland all day, right? What about you, Jose, man?
I mean, I definitely wanted to hear both of the perspectives first from an artist standpoint of view.
Well, you know what? Go ahead, because Hazerd, you know what I'm going to say about Hazerd is he's a younger cat, but this dude, he has his knowledge, man. And we, before you got here, Agallah, he was talking about that. It's like kind of the essences of hip hop and DJ, b-boy, graffiti, all that stuff. And this dude kind of knows what it is. And I want to say, not you're a little a lot of the younger artists, man, they kind of don't know like what he was speaking on, and it's a good thing. It's kind of refreshing, Hazerd, that you kind of do. Yeah. And go ahead and talk about that from your perspective a little bit, man.
The one of the first records I ever had was a Fugees record. And I remember the reason why I listened to the Fugees was because Pac said, yo, fuck the Fugees. I'm going to be completely real. I didn't know who they were. And I was like, well, who the fuck's he talking about for a second? So I went and I actually did like research on it. That was my mind state always. Like, it wasn't just like I'll accept some shit. Like, my big homies from my hood will tell me something and I'll be like, but why? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, I heard Pac say, fuck the Fugees. And I heard, fuck Bad Boy. I mean, I knew about Bad Boy. But, like, it made me curious as to who these artists were. Because you got to think, I'm 9, 10 years old at the time. I was born in 87. So when Pac was popping big shit, like, I'm little, but my boys are bumping Pac so hard, and I'm hearing every day, you know what I mean? Fuck the refugee camp, and I'm hearing, you know what I mean? Fuck Nas and fuck, and I'm like, who are these people? So it made me want to go listen to them on some rebellious shit. You know what I mean? That's how I got into Biggie So Tough. I'm like, well, what's so bad about this dude? He could fucking rhyme circles around people. So it just made me want to do research on it. And then, like, so growing up, like, I never lost that. You know what I mean? And for my thing, I think, like, what's missing or whatever the case is everything sounds so regurgitated, and sometimes when people are trying to like pay homage, I just heard fucking, who was it, Mac Miller rapping over Big Pun. Like, no diss to Mac Miller and no diss to that record, but what I feel like is, I get what he might be trying to do, like, oh, I'm gonna rap over, you know what I mean, I don't want to be a player, like, okay, I get that, but then my thing is, like, there's no real homage paid to a Big Pun. You know what I mean? My girl's daughters love that record with Ariana Grande, if her name is, right? But they don't know who the hell Big Pun is. Like, I was literally schooling them, like, do you understand who Big Pun is? Like, I don't want to be a play. Do you know where that song came from? And I'm trying to tell them that. And I think with that's what it is right there. My daughter, she's like 6, 7 years old, and she could recite raps word for word from like Wiz Khalifa and Tiger and stuff. And I be looking at her like, I don't let her listen to none of the CDs, so she gets this off the radio and she's like editing herself, and it's kind of funny. But that's where she thinks rap started. And I think we oftentimes don't do enough of showing people like, no, that's not where rap started at. That's not even what was the first shit in hip hop. No, there was a DJ that threw a block party. You know what I mean? He was on Sedgwick and see, like, really, like, that's where the shit started from. I mean, you doing the Rock the Bells.
Cool Herc.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Thank you. I really should have done
that's
that.
My man right there.
To the Godfather, grandfather, the originator.
I performed at his party, his birthday party.
Oh, see?
Yeah. He had me perform at his birthday party, and I'm still to this day just, in awe that he would have me rock at his B-Day. I mean, that right there, I don't care. You give me $1 million.
I would brag about that for the rest of my life.
Wouldn't even, I even got pictures. Me and him just balling out the whole. It's just like in real time. I mean, I actually, man, sat with Herc and thanked him personally for what he did. Because if it wasn't for Herc, none of this wouldn't be possible. And at the end of the day, people don't know the history, but that man is the reason why hip-hop is here today.
And
he's the reason why.
That you're saying that they don't know the history, and that's what it could be boiled down to right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to school my daughter on certain things. It's like she thinks that rap started with like Rack City or something. You understand what I'm saying? Like she hears something over and over again on Kiss FM or on Power, and she thinks that's where it started at. And my thing is, I think that's what it is. Oftentimes enough, too many people want to complain about the new generation. Like, sit down and talk. Like, I'm a young dude. I'll listen to a Wackoe or to a Rabbit. Me and Wackoe have had conversations till 2 in the morning before out in front right here. You know what I mean? I'll listen to a Choice One. You know what I mean? The resident DJ here. I'll just soak up game from him. He'll tell me what shit was like when he was in high school, and I'll just be sitting there listening to him like this. And I don't think it's necessarily every kid coming up is ignorant to it or doesn't want to know about it. I think there's some people they just don't want to know about it. But I think also it needs to be more communications like this. You know what I mean? Sit a kid down at 16 years old with Pro Tools and a condenser mic trying to rap about Molly's and shit, and sit him down and be like, listen, before all that, there was this. Give him like give him cassettes and a fucking Walkman if you have to. Listen to this.
G.
You know what I'm saying? But listen to this. Check this out and get back to me and tell me how you feel after that. I was telling him I was ghostwriting for a kid when he was 9 years old. He's 16 now. He told me, who do I gotta listen to? I'm trying to set my bars up. I told him, go listen to these cats. They're all dead, but go listen to them. Listen to the Big Puns of the world. Go listen to Big L. You listen to Biggie, your pops raised you on that. That's great. You from the South? Go listen to some of DJ Screw's old shit before he passed away. Rest in peace. Go listen to all these dudes. Go listen to Guru from Gangstar. Listen to these wordsmiths and listen to what they did for the game. He came back. His first question for me was, why isn't Big Pun more famous? Why do people always say R.I.P. Biggie and Pac, but not Big Pun? And he has a passion for this shit now. He's banging Capital Punishment on repeat in his headphones. It's not that they don't want to know, they just don't know. And sometimes we get so mad at a younger generation, sit down and chop it up with them for a second.
That's how I feel too, man. Go ahead, Jose, speak on it.
I mean, this is definitely a forum. That's why. So it's okay to contradict, people's opinion and how they feel about something. I definitely agree with both of you on your perspective and your opinion on what's missing in hip hop and the culture and the music. And coming from my point of the live entertainment aspect of it, I would say the one thing that's missing is the live entertainment. When you do a show, besides just sitting on a stoop with a DJ, it's like, the super duper old school, put on a show, entertain the people. At the end of the day, we MCs are still, master of ceremonies, besides just a microphone controller. They still got to entertain the crowd and keep them live, keep them engaged, keep them with you, keep them riding. Don't just keep them like this. Keep them jumping, vibing. Keep them involved and have them believing and being part of what you're saying to them. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. Slick Rick, you're telling a story.
Yeah, you got to connect with the crowd, man. I get that.
You got to vibe with them on that. You got to get them to vibe with you. So I mean, I definitely say, one artist that I had no idea who he was until we had him at one of our shows, and Chang was like, "Yo, if you don't know who this dude is, whatever you're doing at the show, take a break and at least see some of his set, and you'll see what I'm talking about." And that was Tech Nine. I wasn't familiar.
Oh, man.
I wasn't familiar who Tech Nine was until we had him at one of our shows, and I was instant fan. I was like, "Yo, that was a show."
That's like one of the biggest. I mean, I don't want to say, although I guess independent that
definitely.
without major backing behind him, this dude has such a following, and it's because of the main thing about Tech Nine is because of his live shows, dog, and that he's got a following because of that without the major backing.
I love Tech Nine. His music is very, very compelling. He has his own world, his own brand that you must tap into. He brings it in. He brings it in. He knows about his branding as an artist, and that's very important. I had meetings with BRC. I was just in a meeting, and he shipped 76,000 units on an indie. So you do the math.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Yep. Yeah, because he's getting more than $2 a CD,
right,
man.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And you know what? Shout to his clique, man. They doing their thing, man. Hobson and them, all them cats, they doing their own thing. I like what they do, and I just think that they have their own lane. And what they doing is MCing, but on a different level. And you gotta, and you see what they do. It's enjoyment to reality, and Tech be spitting. He does spit, and I just think that he's one of those dudes that the game rogues over. He's like a rogue rapper, not the one that you might be like, I'm gonna bump him, but then when you get to see him and he bring you that brand, then you automatically instantly rocking with him.
Yeah.
I just think that he's one of those dudes, man. Shout to him.
Yeah, no doubt. And just, to something that's very key on what both of you said about someone like Tech Nine is like 100% independent. You know what I'm saying? And making noise like that, like without radio play.
Right. Radio right now, just speaking to Sean Price day before yesterday. And he said, man, he ain't fucking with the radio. He said, how about that? He said, not no disrespect, but personally, as an artist, as an OG, you can't thrive yourself any more than what you already did. You know what I mean? Like the radio game is funny. Let's be all honest. It's a funny game to get on it, and then to play the radio game is it's real funny. So really, there ain't no real friends in that game. Like he said, like he told me, he's like, yo, man, I ain't making no friends, and I was like, I respect you on that, and that's my dude. We grind hard. We are artists that we grind every day to make great music. Like that's what we do. It's nothing else that we want to do but that. And then when we get to the radio, they like deny a song, deny a record that you know is dope, but then you got the radio programmer telling you, nah, we can't play this. So what you gonna do? You gonna go, man, this is dope. I'm gonna go back in the hood, sell this out the trunk. Something gotta give. That's what I'm saying. When you put the umph in it, you will triumph. You feel me? So
That's real.
it's real shit.
Straight up.
You know what? You guys kind of bring a point that I think would be kind of cool to get a different perspective, especially from, an artist who's stepping in the game and making a brand and young and coming up, and then a vet, someone who has experience and understand that knowledge, and then someone who sees it from the business aspect point of everything. What I wanted to ask is that because how you're bringing up like the radio and so forth is like the business in it, which I think everybody really kind of lacks into that. I mean, you've been in this for such a long time.
Most definitely.
Business is a really big important thing here.
Definitely.
Do you think that a lot of the young talent is they're not really kind of paying attention to that aspect of it, that the importance of that? Like you as an individual, that you got to play kind of like both sides in a sense. The company has to play both sides. They have to have that ear to the street. They got to have that
who's up and coming,
and still keep a sense of, we're still in the streets. We're still about the quote unquote underground or whatever, but you guys are also on the business level. You guys are now, especially with the last two events, you guys are tapping on that other aspect of the business, that balance, and I think that's what it is balance. Do you think it's really difficult to have that balance for an artist in today's industry to be, especially someone who's coming up, and then if you get to a certain point,
Right.
Now you got to play kind of like two different worlds in a sense,
Right.
if that makes any sense?
Well, I heard, this is what I think. For any artist, no matter what age you are, I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I think. You have to have belief in yourself. That's number one. Stay focused. You got to stay focused and work on your craft. Make sure you're doing it to the best of your ability. Now, there's another part where just because you're not known, nobody know you. You're not out there like that. You got all the advantage in the world to brand yourself as a brand new artist. That's what people don't understand. So you go with a plan. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to have a plan. And then that plan has to turn into success. So therefore, you have to know how to really get, situated as an artist. You have to understand the game. Start going networking at certain events with different artists. If you're not out there like that, go find where's the open mics at, Noah James and Curtis King, though, they spot. You know what I'm saying? That's one breeding ground right there. If you out here, you trying to get it in Cali, you have to go where it's going down at. Go to the Rock the Bells, go to the Paid Dues, go everywhere you think you feel like you could exert your artist energy at. You don't know.
Come
you know
to
what
the
I'm
damn
saying?
B-side, for real.
And then, you got this battle thing and all that. So you have different platforms, nowadays to really brand yourself. And then, but you got to understand, to become a Jay-Z, that's really, that's shooting for another level. Like, if you want to become that guy, or you want to become a Kanye, you got to be able to really, like, now it's a lot of cats, right? They going so independent that everybody's getting money here, getting money there. I've seen the sound scan this week. Did you see it? Did you happen to see Kanye's and J. Cole's numbers and Mac Miller's numbers? Mac Miller in third place with like 100,000. J. Cole is right behind Kanye in sales, not even that far behind, bro. You look at it, you look at the numbers like, wow. And then you like, damn, we thought Kanye was going to do 500,000.
Yeah.
No.
So you can't sleep on the next man creeping up. He up on the come up like, and he timed it. See, J. Cole, he timed that album, was like, I'm going to put this the same time Kanye gonna put his album out, and I'm gonna make sure that my fans gonna know what's going on with me with this album, which I guess I don't know. I think I don't know the name of it, but he put it out, and I seen the numbers and shit. I was like, whoa! I was like, he's doing his numbers. He ain't too. He's like a couple few thousand.
He wanted to
Kanye,
compete
bro.
with the big dogs. You know what I mean? And
so
he did it.
you gotta be a planner, bro, with your music. You have to plan it right. Drop your singles on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's the days you drop a single. You know what I mean? And you gotta really understand the demographic, man, of being an artist. To stop being lazy.
Yep.
That's the time. A lot of artists is lazy. They don't want to do their own work. They don't want to call, set meetings up, find out about sponsorships. They don't do none of that because they lazy. They always waiting for somebody else to do it for them.
Hey, you know what?
That's another part.
We say this on the show all the time, though, man. I think cats sometimes think like their homies tell them they're dope or whatever, and they just sitting there waiting. They think they could spit something, and people are gonna come to their house, knock on their door. Dr. Dre's gonna knock on their door and go, man, hey, I heard you were dope, man. I mean, like you said, man, you got to be ready to do that work, man, and put in that effort, man, and do your thing, man, for real.
Yeah, I mean, me myself, I work with, my own branding company. I went and got my own branding people. I had to go find that on my own because I know marketing and promotion is very, very, very important in this business.
You know what?
Very important.
Let's get
more
into
than the music sometimes, because you can have a whack ass song with a feature and it could be whack. You could just be a whack and nobody likes it, but it's still out there. Like I'm sorry to say, I made a review. I don't know if you've seen my review on Kanye's album. But I made my own review. I made my own review, and you got to check it out.
It might be the same as like what I've been hearing from everybody.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah, it's sort of the same wave. But I just kind of know for personal, not knocking the man for who he is, but you got to put out music that defines the culture, and some people try to speed ahead over your head sometimes, and I don't knock them, but it's the level of branding, promotion, marketing that artists do not know about. No matter what their music sound like, they just not doing it right. They not presenting it right.
Hey, look, let's hold this thought because we're gonna play a video. We're segmenting this, but let's get into the branding and marketing on this next segment, man, right after this video. Hey, Whitey, go ahead and play the next video, and we're going to come right back and talk about that, man, and keep that thought. Hazerd, we're going to talk about it, man. BSide Show, act like you know.
So.
You got it, Shay?